What's up, everybody? It's me, Chris, here to give my brief or shortened WEC 38 and Affliction Day of Reckoning predictions. I'm not going to go through all the fights on both cards because either I don't know both fighters, all the fighters, whatever, just aren't intrigued by them. So just going to go through the ones that I do plan on, that I'm really interested in. So that being said, first off, Affliction Day of Reckoning. First fight on the undercard, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira versus Vladimir Matyushenko. So rematch, they fought a few years back. I believe Nogueira won that one by decision, I believe, or submission, don't recall exactly. Anyways, Nogueira is a good fighter. He fought in the first Affliction card, won, knocked out Edwin Deweese. Matyushenko was on a roll in IFL. I think Nogueira is the better fighter in all aspects of the game except for wrestling. I think it'll be a good, close, competitive fight. Maybe not the most exciting, but I'm going to go with Nogueira by decision. He's got the better hands, but Matyushenko will probably get him down. I think Nogueira's got obviously better jiu-jitsu, but Matyushenko should be able to stay out of the submission, so I just think it'll be a back-and-forth fight, but maybe not the most fast-paced, but either way I'm going to go with Nogueira by decision. Next up, Chris Ordesky versus Dan Lozon. Lozon fought in the UFC once, got blown away, really young kid. Ordesky had his run in the IFL, did really good there. Did suffer a loss in the second to last fight. He got KO'd on the ground. But came back and won another fight for that. These are both a couple of really young guys, really like 20, 21-year-olds, I believe. So, at the same stage in their career, basically. I'm going to go with Ordesky. I think he's beat the higher level opposition. I think he's had the higher level opposition. They're both all around, pretty good, well-rounded fighters, but I just think Ordesky's probably got a little bit higher level of training as well over there at Extreme Couture and whatnot, so should be a close competitive fight, though. But I'm going to go with Ordesky by decision. Lozon's definitely a game fighter, so I think he can make it to the end. But probably fight of the night, to be honest. Next up, we got Babalu versus Sokaju. Babalu's coming off the win over Bobby Southworth, cut stoppage in Strikeforce. Sokaju's coming off the loss in the UFC to, I think, Luis Arthur Kane, I believe he lost to. He came out really explosive in that first round, but then gassed out when Kane took over and stopped him. This should be a good fight. Definitely go either way. I could make a case for either guy. Sokaju's more explosive, the better athlete, got the more power. Babalu, I think, is the better fighter, got the better skills. Definitely got way more experience in the fight game. The guy's been around for a long time. Seen more, in fight time alone than Sokaju's ever even probably seen in training. So, it's hard to say because, like I said, Sokaju's got a lot of physical advantages. But Babalu, like I said, is the better fighter. Got way more experience, and I think, he's going to use that to his advantage. As I said, Sokaju's pretty explosive. The first, round of the fight comes out hard and heavy, but seems like if he can't finish his opponents, kind of gasses out, and if his opponents are able to survive his initial onslaught, they can kind of take it to him later on, stop him, or beat him. So I'm going to go with Babalu. Babalu's not the most explosive fighter as far as, he doesn't have the most power. He does got good submission, so, I'm going to go with Babalu by submission. Say late second, third round, which should be a good fight. First round of this fight should be really exciting, though. Next up, we got Matt Lindland versus Vitor Belfort. Lindland looked awful in his last fight. The first Affliction show. Barely, maybe not barely, but, he had tough moments against some guy I never even heard of before. Vitor looked good on that card also. He fought Terry Martin, knocked him out. His first fight at 185 pounds. Much like with Sokalu Babalu, Belfort, there's one guy that's clearly a better athlete, but maybe not the better fighter. Styles-wise, Lindland has the advantage. He's a wrestler. Belfort doesn't fare well against wrestlers. But Lindland, like I said, looked horrible in his last fight. If he comes in fighting like he did in his last fight in this fight, I think Belfort can win. I think he could stop Lindland. But Belfort has let me down way too many times in the past for me to, hold hope and, that he's actually going to pull through. Since back when he first debuted in the UFC, I've followed his career ever since then, and just too many times where you think you're going to see the old Belfort and it never pulls through. Lindland's got the style advantage, as I said, to get Belfort down, grind him out to a decision. That's the way I see it happening. Although Belfort training with Randy Couture at Extreme Couture may help him, as Couture used to train with Lindland, but I just think Lindland's going to be able to implement his game plan. Belfort will probably gas out somewhere in the second, third, and Lindland will grind out a decision. Next up, Josh Barnett versus Gilbert Yvel. Should be an easy win for Barnett. Yvel's a late replacement, or not a late replacement, but just a late pick for this fight. Barnett's got all the advantages except for on the feet. Yvel's a much better stand-up fighter, but I don't think Barnett can handle himself up there, as we saw in his last fight against Pedro Rizzo in the first Affliction card where he knocked Rizzo out. But I don't think he wants to take any chances on the feet. Why give Yvel a chance there when he can easily get Gilbert down and sub him in no time? I think Barnett's going to win this first round submission quite easily. And I think he'll go on to get the winner of Fedor Arlovski. Speaking of, main event, Emelianenko Fedor against Andrei Arlovski for the WAMA heavyweight title. Really looking forward to this fight. Should be Fedor's toughest challenge in a while. I've got quite a few people telling me I think Arlovski can win, including one of my close friends. I think he can win if he catches Fedor, or if he cuts Fedor, but based on Arlovski's last couple performances, I'm going with Fedor. I'd go with Fedor anyway, but Arlovski looked good against both Roy Nelson and Ben Rothwell his last two fights. However, both those guys were able to get him down, and when they did, they were able to do pretty good damage. Rothwell was able to hit him with pretty good elbows and punches when Arlovski was on his back, and Roy Nelson was able to control him pretty good on the ground position-wise. I think Fedor is a better fighter than both those guys, obviously, especially from the top position. He has awesome ground and pound, and I think Fedor's going to be able to get Arlovski to the ground, and I really think he's going to be able to put it on him with the punches. We haven't seen Fedor's ground and pound game implemented back in the days when he did in Pride, but I think he's really going to get a chance to do it here. Or he may even be able to submit Arlovski. Either way, I think Fedor's going to win this fight. If it's a title fight, I guess it would be a 5-round fight. I'm not for sure, but if that's the case, I don't think it's going to go that far. I'm going to go with Fedor by TKO, say round 3, maybe 4. Don't get me wrong, Arlovski can win this fight, especially standing. Very explosive, working with Freddie Roach on the hands. He's definitely going to have an advantage standing, but Fedor, he's no slouch standing. And like I said, he's just going to work the stand-up, I think, to get to the ground game. Get that Sambo clinch. Arlovski's also got a history in Sambo, but not nearly as decorated as Fedor. I think Fedor's going to get him in the clinch, get him on the ground. Effective ground and pound, and either stop him there or work Arlovski into making a mistake and getting the submission. So that's that. And like I said, the winner of that should get Josh Barnett next if he beats Gilbert Yvel. On to Sunday, WEC 38. First up, Urijah Faber versus Jens Pulver rematch. I was fortunate to see the first fight live. I went to the event, Arco Arena. Uriah's coming off the disappointing loss to Mike Thomas Brown. He got caught. Careless got caught, got knocked out. Jens is coming off the KO loss to Leonard Garcia. I picked Garcia in that fight, so I can't say I was surprised, although I was surprised the way it ended. Uriah got caught, still in his prime. Jens got caught, but like I said in my predictions for his last fight, I think he's a little bit past his prime. Their last fight went all 5. I don't know if this fight will. Uriah doesn't have that much power in his hands, so I can see Jens making it the full 3. But I think Uriah's just going to outwork him, ground and pound him a little bit. I'll say to go to a decision, but I'm going to go with Urijah Faber easily. I think he'll dominate this fight much more than he did the first one. So he should win this fight and get the winner of Mike Thomas Brown, Leonard Garcia next. Main event, Jamie Varner defending his WC 155-pound title against Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Varner's coming off the awesome win over Razor Rob McCullough. Cerrone is my bad. Varner's coming off the destruction of Marcus Hicks first round. Before that, he had also had a great win over McCullough where he won the title. Should be an awesome fight. Both are good fighters. Cerrone's only had one fight go to decision in all of his fights. That was his last fight. Varner's only had 2 fights go to decision in all his fights. So I don't see this making it all 5 rounds. Cerrone's probably the better fighter standing as far as kickboxing and stuff, but I think Varner's better technically with his boxing, with his strikes. Cerrone's got the height advantage. I think he's got submission advantage, and Varner's the better wrestler. I really think this is going to be the best fight of the weekend, most exciting, awesome fight. But Cerrone got hit with a lot of rights in the McCullough fight. He got dropped a couple times. I think Varner's got the power to put him down. If he gets him down with his strong wrestling base, I think he'll be able to finish him off on the ground with strikes. Although he may get careless trying to do that, Cerrone could catch him in a submission. I don't know. This is a great fight. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, could go either way. I'm going to go with the champ, Varner, by strikes, either standing or on the ground, somewhere in the 3rd or 4th round, in what's going to be an absolutely awesome fight. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. I'm out of here. Until next time, bye.